These 3 wines are all made from the same grape, but from different places. Each of these 3 glasses contains one of those wines, and I have no clue which is which. A few minutes ago, I had my partner come in here and pour these wines. As you see, we have these little tabs on the bottom of the glasses. She put a colored tab on note cards that has the names of the wines, so at the end, I'll be able to tell if I got anything right. The grape today is Shiraz, or Syrah, depending on where it's coming from. I have one from Saint Joseph in the Northern Rhône in France, I have one from Southern Australia, and I have one from the Santa Ynez Valley in California. In theory, I feel like it should be pretty easy to tell the difference between all of these wines, just based on climate and also the style that they usually make in the regions. But let's see what good old Wine Grapes has to say about it. It is in the Northern Rhône that French Syrah shines as a monovarietal wine. The magnificently concentrated long-lived reds on the granite rock of Hermitage represent the most manly aspect of Syrah. The steep southeast-facing terraces of Côte-Rôtie represent almost the northern limit of Syrah cultivation. This is stereotypically Syrah at its purest. Saint Joseph's terrain between Côte-Rôtie and Hermitage is too varied to allow generalizations, so that's not helpful. Fashion rules the Golden State, but the worldwide fashion for Syrah has eluded Californians, or perhaps they just got there first. Total plantings in the decade of 2003 rose from 400 to 17,000 acres. But since then, there have been remarkably few new plantings. It is said that the American consumer is bemused by Syrah, but doesn't really know what to expect. Of all Syrah's many homes outside France, Australia is by far the most important and has the second largest plantings after France of the variety. The Shiraz of McLaren Vale is rather open and breezy. Ooh. Well, that goes against my theory. That information does not line up with the way that I've always thought of Syrah and Shiraz, especially when it comes to France and Australia. In my mind, what I've always thought is France, you're generally getting lighter, meatier, maybe smoky, peppery, gamey would be good words. And then when you're looking at Australia, you're looking at big and bold, just a lot more aggressive and more fruit as well. And then I've always kind of thought of California as somewhere in between, and it depends on the producer. I've also always had the idea that you can kind of tell what style Shiraz or Syrah you're going to get in California depending on what the producer calls it, although that is not really a rule, it's just something that I came up with. So I guess I'll just go from here down on over. So I'm starting with the orange tab. First sniff. Not a very exciting nose. I do get some kind of like smoked meat, but it's not very loud. There is maybe like a little bit of dustiness or something. Let's see what it looks like. Not super dark and not super purple. I'm gonna call it more, like pink ruby. Give it a swirl. Brings out a little bit more of that like gaminess. I'm getting just a lot of gaminess and minerality on the nose for this wine. And I'll take a sip. Pretty high acidity, kind of dusty, softer tannins. I'd probably say medium. And I would also say medium bodied. And upon taking a second sip, I'm gonna say medium acidity. I think that was just first sip of wine of the day. Pretty well balanced, not a lot of fruit. I'm going to say, for now, tentatively, we are in France with that. We'll see. Now moving on to the blue tab. First sniff. Already a little bit more fruit. See how it looks. This is definitely kind of a little bit more purpley. So yeah, I do think there is more like tart black fruit, blackberry kind of thing. There is less of that gaminess and smoked cured meat type of thing happening, but not screaming with fruit. Take a sip. Less tannin, a little bit more full-bodied, definitely getting more fruit, more flavor on the palate out of this wine. I would, again though, say medium acidity, I'd say medium tannin, and I'd probably say medium body. I'm going to guess California for now. And now, the last of the three, this purple tab, first sniff. Okay, so not super strong, but I'm kind of feeling like a darker baked or more ripe fruit. And there definitely is still that kind of sweaty cured meat element. Let's see what it would looking like. This is the darkest and inkiest of everything so far. Give it a swirl. Just more aggressive is really the best word I can think of compared to these two wines. A little louder. Seems to have brought out a little bit more of the meat, but the fruit is still kind of sitting up front. Take a sip and see. I think this is the fullest bodied of them, though it's not super big and ripe. It's also got kind of the more spicy profile of the three. I'll say medium acidity, and I'll say medium tannin. So none of these are really standing out much. This is like more of a thing of subtle differences. So I'm going to say this is Australia for now. We're going to revisit all of them. These two I'm the most concerned about. So this is the one that I'm thinking is France. Still more of like a smokiness to this. Kind of light, some tannin, not a lot of fruit. This is the one that I thought could be California. A little bit more going on here, just feels a little darker on the nose. It's got more like tart fruit. And then this is the one that I'm thinking is Australia. And I still do. This is kind of the most beefy in your face of the three bottles, though it's not over the top. So not as cut and dry as I had it in my mind. I do just want to compare these two very quickly. You know what? I don't have a reason. I can't give you a reason. I'm going to switch these. I'm going to say blue is the French, orange is the California, and purple is Australia. I'm going to say that's my final answer. Locked in. Let me grab the note cards and see if I'm right or wrong. So they are in here. First reveal. Orange is Saint Joseph. Damn, I should have left it there. Next up, Mollydooker is purple. And then Andrew Murray is blue. So I had it right before I switched these. I had no reason to switch them other than vibes. Whatever, man. I gotta be honest, these were a lot closer in style to one another than I thought they were when I was buying them. It was subtle differences is what it came down to, and I shouldn't have switched these two goddamn glasses. So what I learned is stick with your goddamn gut when you're doing this. Real quick before we get out of here, I'll give you the ratings on these. So my Saint Joseph experience, I'm gonna be honest, it was not great. I'm gonna give this like a 2. I've had better Saint Joseph. I didn't love this. This is like a Total Wine Winery Direct private label, so I'm not surprised that I didn't love it. Would I buy it again? I would not. The Andrew Murray, so the Andrew Murray is like half the price of the Saint Joseph and the Mollydooker. I'm giving it a 3. I don't really love it. Ugh. And would I buy it again? Yeah, probably. I don't know, it's $15. It's decent Syrah. The Mollydooker I did enjoy. I don't think it's the best wine that I've ever tasted. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4. And would I buy it again? Yeah, probably. I don't feel like I wasted my money on it the way that I feel like I wasted my money on that Saint Joseph. And yeah, if you want to get a copy of 100 Wines, A Guide to Building Your Palate, you can check out the link in the description, the link in my bio, the pinned comment. You can look me up on Instagram at 100 Wines Book. Look me up on Facebook too. And don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, and do all of those things because those really help get these videos out to more people and I'd appreciate it. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, and we'll see what happens next week.